Chameleon.
Why are we singing?
You come and go.
Karma Chameleon.
You come and go.
Two things. Good morning. It's Curt and Jen and the podcast. Second thing is happy birthday to Boy George, right?
Yes.
From Culture Club, who is 63 today. And you're saying, well, how come you didn't play the Culture Club song Karma Chameleon? There's a reason for that.
Because we'll get busted.
Too many dollars.
Big fat busted.
So everyone just found that was a karaoke version, I guess. They did all right.
Well, and we sang it with.
That's true.
I did at least.
Happy birthday to Boy George, 63 years old. There you go. And we'll never play that version again.
And happy Friday and happy Flag Day. I got all my decorations up. Did a little video. I did a little video on my personal social media on Facebook.
Yesterday you did.
Of a tour of my house with my... I don't have as many of those decorations, of patriotic decorations, as I do Christmas decorations, but it's still fun.
It still looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you see that video. What did you put on your personal page? Your personal Facebook page?
Jen Pirak.
Today is not only Flag Day, it's also the day that Inside Out 2 is in theaters. Inside Out, which is we're both a fan of.
We forgot to get your little sadness. Darn it. Okay.
Maybe I'll go grab it here shortly. So, big fans of Inside Out.
Yes.
All of us. Inside Out 2 is in theaters today.
Yeah.
And early signs are it's going to do great. They're thinking, especially for this weekend, there's not a lot of competition. So they're thinking Pixar is estimating that this is going to score 80 to 90 million in its box office debut.
Yeah.
Which would make it the biggest opening of the year. So far.
Which I think is not hard to beat. Is that right?
Well, so far the biggest openings have been Dune Part 2
okay.
and Godzilla vs. Kong.
All right.
So we'll see. But
I was looking at the weather in the Pacific Northwest because we're broadcasting live from a suburb in Seattle.
Right.
Rain. So it's a perfect day to go see a movie. Perfect weekend to go see a movie. Maybe with Dad.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's also Father's Day weekend.
It's true. We're going to talk a lot about Father's Day today. But first, I want to hear about what happened last night, your late night text.
Oh, I got a text from, our friend, Anne Marie. We used to work with her. Well, I was roommates with her in college and friends with her in high school.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you did not?
I did not know that.
Yeah. She's like, Jen, have you seen Brats? And I'm like, oh, I was so mad at myself, Curt, because this is how my brain works. I even wrote it in my phone.
Right.
Let's talk about the movie Brats on the podcast.
Now, this is
and
we can.
We didn't, though. Yesterday when it opened.
Yeah, we're all right.
On Hulu.
This is the Brats movie about the Brat Pack, not the Brats, Bratz.
No, not
That's
that
different
kind of
Brats. And this is one that Andrew McCarthy put together. He was one of the Brat Pack, you may remember, from all those movies.
From what, John Hughes?
Let me see. They were in Pretty in Pink, and then
16 Candles.
What's the other one I'm thinking of?
Breakfast Club.
About Last Night, is that one?
Ooh,
no, St. Elmo's Fire.
St. Elmo's Fire for sure.
So it was kind of a big deal if you were alive back in the 80s.
Here's the thing that Anne Marie said, because I said, I have not watched it. I will watch it. I forgot to mention on the show, because she's like, you must mention this on your show, because anybody that was a teenager in the 80s will love this movie so much.
She said it's a must-see.
Must-see.
For people of a certain age.
I am going to be seeing that movie. No question about it. What is going on right here? Okay.
You're going to see Brats, for sure.
Yes.
Okay. That'd be my wife Dana and I, we could go see Brats with you as well. I guess we could take some time away, but we're puppy sitting.
Yes.
A little Havanese dog.
Havanese
dog.
Cute.
Our friends Bob and Elisa left town, and so we've got Jonah the Havanese.
And they were barking each other yesterday. You showed me a little video of them. Like you put one of them kind of on the porch.
Geez. Our dog, our beagle, Bella, was standing inside.
They were talking
about
to each
20
other.
feet away, and Jonah, the new dog, was out on the front porch, and I bark, 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 back and forth. Who knows what they were talking about? It seemed like it was senior citizen playtime, because Jonah is 10 and Bella is 14?
14?
Yeah.
I did not know Bella was 14.
So maybe that's okay.
She's getting old.
I know. So maybe, I don't know what they were talking about. It was probably, you come over here and play with... No, you can play with me.
It was important things. It was
obviously
very important
doggy things. So that's what we're doing this weekend. We're watching Jonah, which has so far been a blast.
All right. Another music thing that we can mention, Alanis Morrissette gets credit in the Oxford English Dictionary for creating the phrase, friends with benefits.
And we're saying...
And I was like, why? What?
BS, no way. We've been talking about that. Well, not we. It's been around for longer than I think. Well, it was in the song Head Over Feet where she says, "You're my best friend with benefits." So she gets credit for...
Is that how it goes? Like, that doesn't even sound familiar to me in that song.
Well, we can't play it legally because we'll get sued.
Right, okay.
So you're my best friend with benefits.
And that was in 1985. And I feel like Friends with Benefits phrase has been around much longer than that.
Well, 1995.
What did I say?
85, but that's okay. We were talking about the 80s a second ago. All right. So she gets credit for that, but then I'm going to look back at some of the words that I would have, quote unquote, created that I know that I didn't. But if I say, how was the first person to say that, maybe you get credit for it.
She's not the first person to say it,
I know. That's what I'm saying. You could just
Okay,
claim.
well, anyway, in the dictionary, she gets credit for it.
All right.
All right. Tell me, what's this? History is not repeating itself? What's the deal with that?
Well, I want to hold off on that for just a second.
You
Because
do?
I get kind of gross. I wanted to hear about your pickleball experience.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yesterday morning after we did the podcast, I went home and I do my lunch, like make lunch for Macy, make sure she gets breakfast, get her to school, and then I went straight to pickleball.
Right.
And it was the first time that I officially played with Pat and another couple. That's not true. Anyway, we played pickleball. I squirrel. I'm sorry. We played pickleball, and Pat is so good at pickleball. Like he can put his paddle behind us. Like he will reach. And at one point, the guy that we were playing against, we played against another couple, Lori and Glenn. Glenn was called Pat out. He's like, Pat, the whole time during that rally, you had your hand on your hip. Just boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I'm never going to be that good.
That's because he's a firefighter and he's fit. He's fit, and that's what fit people do.
That's right, because he's quick. I was telling you he's quick.
He can get to the ball quickly.
And people are quick when they're fit.
Yes, and he's probably hitting it back to places that it's going to be easy for him to return again, So.
Can I tell you this, that the other day he played pickleball in his bunker gear, in all the firefighter gear, the tank, everything was on him. The whole team, they did that because they had to do some kind of form of exercise.
Well, geared up.
Yes.
Wow. That's like 80 pounds, right? The gear?
I don't know, but he played pickleball in his gear.
That's probably why when he plays pickleball out of his gear, he's
so
way good.
He's quick.
He's very quick.
All right, that was my boring pickleball story, but it was he was amazing me. I'm like, honey, you're so good at this.
I can outdo you in boring stories.
Okay, do.
I don't know if it's a boring story. I'm trying to repair one of our water features. It's a big one. So, I mean, this is a...
In your backyard, you have several.
Yeah, and this one, I'm going to say that the tub, or whatever you want to call the part that holds the water before it goes up and becomes a waterfall or whatnot, is pretty massive. And somewhere there's a leak in it. So I went out and I got that to spray... they've got the flex tape, They have the commercial where they cut the boat in half and then put it back together with flex tape. But they also have Flex Seal, which is a spray supposed to do the same thing and seal up on. Anyway, so I went and got a small bottle of that yesterday, and I sprayed it.
Did you get that at the Home Depot?
I got it at the Lowe's.
At the Lowe's, okay. Okay.
Are you getting paid by Home Depot?
No, I was just wondering where you get. Like you go to the hardware store to get such things, yes?
Yes,
or Amazon.
It was probably as only sold on TV, or what do they call that?
Oh, as seen on TV?
As seen on TV as well, yes. So I sprayed the S out of the inside of this thing with this spray thing, and I put water in it after 24 hours, and it still has a small leak. So
it does?
The question is, do we go with another can of the stuff and really try to soak it, or am I just going to pitch it? The water fountain.
It still leaks. Maybe you should use the tape. The tape worked on a boat.
Okay. You know what? If anybody has experience with Flex Seal, this is what I'm asking for. Did it work or not? Because it seems like a too good to be true thing.
I think you need to get the tape.
All right.
Is it too late for the tape because you already sprayed that other stuff in it?
No, we can tape and spray.
Tape it. Don't dump it yet. Do the tape. The tape worked on a boat. It's got to work on a water feature.
We'll let you know how that goes.
All right. What?
I just wrote this down as possibly something because there was a rumor going around. I'm surprised we did not report on this.
God,
we almost always do.
Suck, man.
No. In this case, you would have been justified. There's a rumor going around. There's a humpback whale that died and washed up on Nehalem State Park.
Which is in Oregon?
Did I say it right?
Oregon coast, the Tillamook coast.
And the rumor was going around that they were going to try to get rid of this thing by blowing it up. Blowing up.
Is that what one does when you need to get rid of a whale?
That's what one tried. Also, it was in Oregon. This is in 1970. You probably saw this. Maybe you did. There was a whale that had washed up on the shore, and they couldn't get rid of it, right? Because it's a whale. Weighs a bunch. It started to get stinky because it's right there. So they decided, these people, I guess it was the Oregon State Parks, I'm not sure, decided they were going to explode it, thinking it would just, I don't know, vaporize or something like that. They just loaded it full of TNT.
And it stinks already, so now you're going to blow it up and blow the stink everywhere? No.
They blew it up, and I'm surprised. Well, I do like these funky stories, so that's why I know about it. They blew it up, and instead of disintegrating, dead animal parts went everywhere. It was raining down. Rotting whale and blubber was raining down on people and cars and everything. So if you heard the rumor that they were going to try to blow up this whale, which is actually still there, I believe.
Right now. So it's just, okay, I got it. I was not
They
following
are not going to blow it up. They will find some other way to get rid of the whale.
How do you do that? What if you put a bunch of bricks in? It's like in the movies when they want to get rid of a dead body, they just put a bunch of bricks in and then dump it in the ocean and it floats to the bottom. And
how are they going to get it out to the ocean? It weighs whale weight.
Well, there's big, can't you? Okay, for real. You can get a crane or something and get it, lift it with the crane, get it on a boat or a freight carrier or whatever, take it to the ocean. The freight carriers have the same kind of equipment on it, and then you dump it in the ocean.
I'm waiting for the comments to come out on this one because you even though you have a master's in engineering.
I don't. Why couldn't you do this?
I don't know. Maybe I think part of the problem was as the whale starts to rot, you can't tie a rope to it and pull it because the tail will just come off. I mean, it weighs.
Too rotten?
Yeah.
Then scoop it.
Okay, let's move on. But feel free to chime in.
We know everything
about
here.
Whales.
Not.
Dead whales. Let's hear about the social etiquette rules. You found this one. This was fun.
Yeah. Social etiquette. Let's see. Things that you're sorry, I wasn't looking. This show is a mess today. Welcome. I'm so glad you're part of it.
It is Friday.
It is Friday.
That's
for sure.
The deal is this.
I got this common social etiquette rules that people are tired of. That's what you wanted to hear about. And that is what I'm going to tell you about.
Social etiquette rules that people are tired of.
Yes.
All right. This came from, I don't know, they asked 1,000, 10,000, 20,000 people.
So here are some of the things. Not taking the last piece of food on a sharing platter.
So were they saying it's bad? So the
etiquette is that you don't take the last piece, right? Mm-hmm. But they're saying, forget that.
Take the last piece.
Otherwise it just gets wasted.
Or like you come up, I'm not taking the last piece, but I'll cut it in half.
I might cut it in half. Just in case.
The second to last
This
half.
happened last night at our little impromptu dinner party we had last night. There was one little piece of corn on the cob, like a half a corn on the cob. Jackie cut him in half.
Right.
And I knew Pat was still hungry. I'm like, honey, there's another piece of corn on the cob out there that you can take. And he's like, I'm not going to take it in case someone else wants it. So he did not take it, but our friend Randy did not hesitate. He's like, I'm taking that last piece of corn.
Corn, sure.
So yeah, Randy's living the real world now. Don't take the last piece of food on it.
Again, etiquette things that people are tired of.
Okay.
Things like not telling someone they have a piece of food in their teeth or their face.
That's a bug in your grill. I will say, Curt, you got a bug in your grill.
Absolutely. And it used to be...
Swish with water.
I think it was, if you felt comfortable, like if you were really close friends with that person, it wasn't a problem. But there have been times when you're like, ooh, should I tell Sally that she's got broccoli in her teeth?
But you tell them, I was just watching this little thing on social media where this person was trying to teach kindness, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, say something because they can fix it, but say it discreetly, right? So it doesn't embarrass them. But if it's something that they can't fix right away, no. But if it's not something they can fix right away, maybe don't say it to them. Like, Curt, your hair's really gray right now. You probably should get it colored.
I knew it.
Don't do that.
All I'm doing is puffing it up.
Don't do that.
All right. More of the things people are tired of on the etiquette list. Not wanting to be rude by calling someone out for being rude. That just takes being, I don't want to say that, okay, how do you put it? If you're not a non-confrontational person, it doesn't mean you're a confrontational person, but you do have to be able to say, you know what, you're being really rude right now. And that's, I think more often than not, people are like, they get home later, it's like, did you see Steve? What a jerk.
Like when I had to tell the people at the restaurant that the kids need to turn their videos down.
Yes, you were super brave. Super brave about that.
Well, I mean, sometimes it just needs to be said, so just say it.
One more, let's do this. Asking, how are you? And then expecting a standard lie in response instead of, and I'm guilty of that because it's funny. It's like, how's your day going? Well, you're like, oh, crap.
Well,
Here it
I mean,
comes.
I'm all about the saying that.
I asked. I know.
Speaking your truth. Speaking your truth. Hold on a second, though. Sending thank you notes to people who attend a loved one's funeral or sent flowers or donations.
You should do that.
They're saying that you shouldn't, though.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I don't like that rule. I don't like that one. I don't think people are sick of that. I think it recognizes and expresses gratitude, and expressing gratitude.
Right. Well, it specifies.
Es muy importante.
It specifies a funeral here. So it's like, well, yeah, you're going to send stuff, you know?
Well, I mean, okay, if someone just attended a loved one's funeral, I don't know that warrants a thank you note. But if they sent flowers or a donation,
okay,
that does.
All right. I agree. That's the last of the etiquette tips, and that's when we're both saying, you know what, you can stick with that etiquette tip.
Yeah.
Sending the thank you note. You are the queen of thank you notes, by the way, and it's always very nice. We almost got into a thank you note battle because you said thank you, and then we sent thank you back for sending the thank you. You know, remember that?
Yes,
and then
I do,
I was like,
Curt.
if Jen sends one more thank you, it is on.
Okay, it's Father's Day weekend. Let's talk
Sunday.
about all things Father's Day. Curt, what do you got for us?
Well, the question was asked, would your dad, I said, and maybe this is a question for dads, all right? Would your dad, or would you as a dad, tell your kids if you didn't like what they gave you for Father's Day?
Or would you pretend that you liked it?
Or would you pretend that you liked it? Yeah, I mean, I guess that goes for a lot of different holidays and a lot of different situations, but we are here at Father's Day. Would you, dad, tell your kids, I don't like that Father's Day gift?
No. 9 and 10 dads said they'd pretend to like it.
Yeah, and
as they should, because that would really hurt some kiddos' feelings.
Yeah. I mean, at least, you know, but the other ones that weren't the 9 and 10, so I guess the 1 and 10, they said, it depends. If the situations you bought them something that they did want, but they need a different size, style, or brand, they might say that. They might say, "Hey, did you get a gift receipt on this? We're going to need it."
There's very kind ways that you can
pretend
do that
to like it. Now, as far as gifts for dads,
what to get dad?
Now, we talked about this 2 days ago, and now we have we have new evidence, I guess, or new facts, if you will, that say maybe we were wrong then, because now it's saying. What did we come up with? The things that dads want for Father's Day the most were like...
The number one thing was a gift card.
Right. The searches for gifts, the Google searches recently, the trend searches, top searches for gifts for dads were gifts for dads who have everything, gifts for dads who want nothing, and gifts for dads who don't like anything. That's I think a lot of us in that, because dad, what do you want for... I don't want anything.
Yeah.
I don't want anything. Well, they do want something.
But what do they want?
Well...
That's what I don't get.
This has that 75%, 3/4 of dads want to spend some time outdoors, camping, barbecuing, or fishing. And they prefer making food on a grill over going to a restaurant.
Okay, so that's how we're going to spend our time. We're not going to spend it inside, even though it's raining cats and dogs. We're going to go outside with dad.
I guess that
we're not going to see the movie.
There's nothing in here about the weather.
We're going to go hiking in the rain.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, what you just said a second ago also applies, because if you do insist on getting a gift, it's like, I'm not just going to say to dad, let's go outside there. That's free, by the way.
Yeah, it is free.
Guess what we got you? We're going to go out in the front porch and stand there. That's not what they're talking about. But if you do insist on getting a gift, as Jen said, a third of dads say they prefer practical gifts they'll actually use, like gear for their hobbies or everyday items, which you can get with a gift card.
So get them a gift card.
Mm-hmm. For maybe if it's more specific.
To Amazon, because you can get anything there.
And also then you're shopping local if you're in this area.
Or maybe Lowe's or the Home Depot.
Shopping local, see Amazon.
I got it, Curt. I got you.
Finally.
Oh, this is right up your alley. Dad rock bands.
And I know when they put these lists out, it's just to get people like me riled up. It's like, okay, here are the top 10 dad rock bands. All right.
Okay, go.
Right off
Let's
the bat,
hear
you're
it.
going to say, well, this has got to be dads of a certain
Don't
age.
Don't give out the number one first. Let's work from the bottom up.
Well, that's
number
actually
10.
great. Number 10
I feel like this is like Letterman right now.
This is like Limp Bizkit is number 10, and that's where it belongs. If there was a number 100 or 200 or 1,000.
Limp Bizkit.
Number 9, and these are, again, dad rock songs. Bon Jovi.
No, rock bands.
Rock bands.
Yeah,
Sorry,
these
rock
are
bands.
dad bands.
Coldplay was number 8. Guns N' Roses.
Because all the band members were dads? Is that what we're getting at here?
No, I think it's music.
Or that dads like.
This is 3,000 people were asked what bands truly epitomize the term dad rock. So I think it's the bands that your dad would like, not bands with dads in them.
Oh, okay.
I hope it's not Limp Bizkit, Fred Durst. Hey. Linkin Park is number 6. Nirvana is the 5th dad rock band. as we get to the top five.
Okay. Red Hot Chili Peppers at number four. I could buy off on that.
There's a tie at number two is Van Halen and Blink-182. So we still got number one. The number one, we'll pause a second so people can think about it. Number one, dad rock band. Again, people were asked what bands truly epitomize dads.
What would you have guessed? I know you know the answer, but what would you have guessed?
I would not have guessed this.
Well, what would you have guessed? That's what I want to know.
Well, see, if it's my dad, it's going to be like some jazz from the 60s or 50s or whatever, because that's what he liked, and that's what age he is. He's 80.
Or like Aerosmith, or...
Yeah, that'd be a good one. But it's not. It's
Or Rolling Stones.
I would say that. Beatles would be in there.
Yeah.
Beach Boys, perhaps.
But no, it's not, guys. What is it?
Nickelback. Which is not fair, because they are a good band and they get beat up for being
They do.
Nickelback. There's always going to be one punching bag. What I think what happens is, and people are going to say, well, yeah, they got overplayed. No, I'm tired of them. Same thing happened with Hootie and the Blowfish, and there was a big backlash about that. Clearly, the same thing happened about Michael Bolton. He was everywhere, and you'd be like, you know what? I'm tired of this guy. And a lot of us were tired of him before he even got big. But I think for what you get to a point where Hootie and the Blowfish, there was actually an interview where Darius Rucker said they wanted radio stations to stop playing the songs because they got so big, so fast. They knew there was going to be a turning point where people were like, you know what, we're really tired of this. We've got 7 singles on rock stations and pop stations. So
take it while you can get it, people.
Right. So
take it while you can get it.
Is the number one dad band, with almost a third of people saying, yeah, if I have to have a band that epitomizes my dad, it's Nickelback.
All right. Here's one last Father's Day thing that I really like. 2 times that you'd call your dad instead of your mom.
For help.
Well,
yeah.
Is it for specifically? Oh, yeah, for help.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, of course, we all try to call our dads on Father's Day weekend, but some people will be calling dads. And,
when you need help.
By the way,
when you need help with
something.
So if you're going to call mom if you need emotional support, like you feel like you did really poorly on a test or whatever the case may be, you need emotional support. You're calling dad for the more serious issues.
Like I wrecked the car?
That's number one. And number two is I wrecked the car. Number one, I'm in jail. You're calling dad. You're not calling mom if you're in jail. For my girls, that makes sense because their dad's a police officer.
Oh, that's true.
So he's going to be able to help them more than I might.
Would they start with, do you know who my dad is?
I don't think they'll do that.
Wow. What's that song? You probably don't know it. There's a song that starts with, hello, Dad, I'm in jail.
I don't know it.
I will think, if I don't think about it, it'll come to me, hopefully by the end of the podcast.
Okay.
So, you're going to call your dad if you're in jail or you wreck the car. Anything else?
Mom. Yeah.
Mom.
All right. This new movie, Spermageddon.
Let's,
what is going on?
As we mentioned earlier, Inside Out 2 opens this weekend. So we're happy about that.
We are happy about that.
This did not catch my eye because it's called Spermageddon.
Well, it caught my eye because of it.
They're calling this...
This isn't an inappropriate movie, is it? It's an adult movie?
I'll explain.
Okay.
I'll explain.
All right.
With Inside Out 2 opening this weekend, there is this other movie called Spermageddon, and it's described as, this movie, Spermageddon, is Inside Out, but for adults. And so I'm like, ooh, so this is an adult movie? No, that's not.
Is it in theaters?
Well, I looked at a clip, and in the clip, they've got 2 teenagers. They're about to do it for the first time. And as the boy gets more and more, into it, the residents of the little sperm village inside of him, this is their words, not mine, they get ready to do...
The
residents of the sperm village.
Is it animated?
I believe so, yes.
Is it for sex ed in school?
Well, I kind of think that's what it is, but I didn't get to finish.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just am asking some questions. I just want to know, Kurt.
So apparently, and this is just based on the little clip I saw on reading about it, is apparently the sperm are basically like the emotions in Inside Out. I don't get it. I don't get it. There's musical numbers as well. So I guess it's a musical, Spermageddon, the musical. And it's not meant to be R-rated. One of the directors actually said, we never talked about whether we could make it more shocking or whatnot. We talked about whether we could make it sweeter and more relatable. We wanted to demystify sex, and having sex for the first time, it's normal for it to feel awkward.
Okay.
That's all I got.
All
Except
right.
there's no word on how or when we'll get to see Spermageddon.
Oh, we don't even know when we can see it?
I tried to find out that stuff, but so far,
Wow,
right here in
Curt.
the story, it says there's no word on how we get to see Spermageddon. However, it's out there, and if you like Inside Out, you'll love. Say it.
I'm not saying it.
Spermageddon.
All right. Weekend plans. Besides going to see Inside Out 2 this weekend, you might consider going to the Edmonds Arts Festival if you're in the Pacific Northwest area. It is one of the most prestigious art festivals in the country. It's been around for over 60 years.
And we at the radio station were there like every year of those 60 years.
Yeah, we used to sponsor that at the radio station.
It is actually really, really cool, the Edmonds Art Festival. And so hopefully we get a break in the weather. Is it supposed
I
to
hope
rain
so,
all
because
weekend?
it's a real bummer if it rains during that weekend. It's always on Father's Day weekend, except for during COVID.
Okay. So there you got, if you're going to stay in, which you might have to because of the rain, you can go see Inside Out 2. And if there's a break or a little sun break here and there.
But even if there's not, if you can go out and support this event, I think that's a good one to go out and do. Yeah.
Just so you know, in the PNW, a little rain doesn't bother us.
No, it doesn't.
A lot of rain
Stop
does. Speaking of which, I got to send out, what's going on in Florida.
Oh yeah, I saw your sister post something about this.
They ended up with like 6 inches of rain in their backyard in their little rain collector. But some people, their entire cars are underwater and whatnot. Florida is becoming
okay, though?
Yeah, they're fine. But it's just becoming such a, I think people used to think, ooh, Florida paradise, but the weather has just been wreaking havoc lately. So hopefully everybody comes out of that okay, and the flooding will subside. And
so if you had listened to the podcast yesterday, you might be thinking, well, I thought you guys were going to talk about the pettiest thing you've ever done after a breakup.
The pettiest thing ever done after a breakup. And we are actually on Monday.
That's right. Here's the thing. My oldest daughter, Riley, I asked for her help. She didn't answer my text message. 2 text messages saying, Riley, can you help me with this? Because I made a meme before, but I can't seem to figure out how to do it again. So I'm going to pull up Google and I'm going to make sure that I post it so that you can comment on it. You can also comment on it on any of the platforms that you're consuming our podcast. There's a space for comments. We will get them. Please connect with us and tell us the pettiest thing you've ever done in a breakup. And we'll talk about it on Monday. And I'm sorry that I'm technically challenged.
Well, the story was basically that we tried to post on it yesterday and we couldn't get it posted. You're waiting to hear back. And so that's why
something was not working.
It didn't happen. But we still think it'd be great to hear your stories and share your ideas. Maybe not ideas. That sounds bad. On
just the pettiest thing
you've ever done after a breakup. Whether you were the one that got broken up with or you did the breaking up. Either or, you're in.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, so have a great Father's Day weekend.
Yeah.
Make sure that you if you can, spend time with your dad. If you can't, call him. Make sure you give him a hug if you can. All the dads, all the father figures, in the words of George Michael, although not in that context, right? That's
Probably
not what that song is about.
I will be your father figure.
Okay, forget I said that. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Celebrate them, spend time, and in the meantime, make good choices, find joy, spread kindness, and thank you for listening.